There is a terrible darkness creeping through veins across the globe. Most have no idea it is there, and some choose not to know. But every night, hundreds of God's children have been sold for sex and labor in their own as well as faraway countries.
Trafficking, that in our is a sin. You capture the mind, get your own free will because of the skin that you're in. Human trafficking, it's an adversary. To you or me, who's like the steel. Do you really know how it feels? Forced to prostitution, women in slavery, taking advantage of children and rob them their dignity. Stop this illegal activity. People change every goddamn day. This is a case of urgency. Crime against humanity. Trafficking. Taking up it's a sin. Capture them and get you all free will because of the skin that get in. Human trafficking. A nightmare surreal. Could be you or me who's like the steel. Do you really know how it feels? Stolen, crossing the border, out of order. This is an international crisis. Such a getting exploited. Yeah, what you people working for nothing? I cannot believe that it's wrong to times. I can't be so unhappy. Human, it's human traffic. Human traffic. It's human traffic. It's human traffic. Human trafficking. It's a party much when our heart goes out to the victims. It could be the next of kin. It's human trafficking. Hey, what a combination. Cruelty of a violence kind. Ever one creation. Trafficking. It's human trafficking. So let this war begin. Stop this trafficking. It's like we must win. Never give in. Never sin. Pick up the pen. Like we must win. Never give in. Pick up the pen. Never sin. Looking at winning. Trafficking. Black it in. Smash it in. Bash it in. Dash it in. Human trafficking. Hey, what a combination. Cruelty of a violence kind. Ever one creation. Trafficking. It's human trafficking. So let this war begin. Stop this trafficking. It's like we must win. Never give in. Never sin. Pick up the pen. Like we must win. Never give in. Pick up the pen. Never sin. Looking at winning. Trafficking. Black it in. Smash it in. Bash it in. Dash it in. Bash it in. Smash
Thank you, everyone. Joining this broadcast is happening right now, right here on the African Portal Radio TV International. This is the campaign against woman trafficking in this 21st century. It's going to be a lovely show here on the African Portal. We're going to be joining one of our very own HE, Reverend Dr. AK OCANSEY, member, African Union Labor Migration Advisory Committee and representative of many organizations, is going to join us on this program. As you know, that today is the day we are campaigning against woman trafficking in the world and in Africa and the rest part of the world. So it's going to be a beautiful time on the African Portal Radio TV International. Those of you joining us, please share this program. Feel free to call us on +27787 033584 is the number to call. Call us, let's have the conversation. Call us, let's talk about it. Call us, let's look at the situation and let's talk about the situation. How can we stop woman trafficking and how can we educate people towards the woman trafficking in all over the world? Global is a global problem, is a global challenge, is what we are facing almost every country of the world. So we have to talk about it, and it's time to talk about it, and that is why the African Portal Radio is giving this platform to Jerome Africa and as well to the organization for women trafficking in the world and talking about it and let people have an idea of what is going on. For us, so those of you that would like to join us, feel free to call +27787033584. Please, I'm expecting a lot of people to join this conversation. We have one of our very own. She's one of the great women in Ghana, in Africa. She's one of the representative of Africa as well. She's one of the beautiful African women on the African soil. We have her with me all the way from Ghana. We'll be having this conversation together on the African Portal Radio TV International. So it's going to be a lovely time. Wear your blue day for Women Trafficking Awareness Month. DIASPORA and NEKOTTECH Ghana Summit 2021 will be one of the things we'll be talking about on this program. So I'm expecting a lot of people to join this broadcast. So if you are coming in, share this program. Salam, thank you very much. This is Salam already joining us. Salam, thank you very much. Please share it. Invite more people to join this conversation. I expect everybody in that group to please, the migration group, please. I want you to join this broadcast, please. I'm waiting for everyone to join because we are on this business together. You cannot leave me alone here on this show. I'm expecting a lot of people to join this broadcast. I think over 200 people are in that group. I'm waiting for all of them to join before I start this program properly. So please join this program guest for today so that you will know that she's one of the great African women that portrays the good side of Africa. See the African beauty in her. So we are going to be having the conversation with her on this program this hour. So for those of you joining us, please share. Let it go viral. That is the only thing we can do to make this show go viral. Thank you very, very much. I welcome every one of you to today's broadcast. Let me use this time to welcome one of our very own, the great woman of our time, the great leader, the great ambassador of Africa. Let me welcome her to the African Portal Radio TV International Committee, live from Victoria here in South Africa. Ma, how are you and how is everything going on your side in Ghana?
Very well. I see you are in your blue. Fantastic. You're celebrating and actually being a part of the Wear Blue Day. I'm very, very happy to see you in your blue. We thank God because we have to fight this menace. We have to put it to bed. It is affecting our continent. It is affecting the world. And we all need to rise up on such a day to make sure that we join this fight. It's a worthy cause for all of us to be a part of.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. I'm so delighted. I'm so happy to have you on this broadcast this hour. I'm so happy that we have opportunity to have you on this broadcast this hour. It's going to be a lovely time. Please tell people around you to please share this program. I expect people to share it 1 million times. This is the only way we can campaign. And if people doesn't join this
Yes.
broadcast, going to be a kind of effort that is not having any result. So I expect everyone on the group to please join this program. If you belong to this group, please, this is the time to prove your membership on this group. Please join the program. It's live now on the African portal. Your question, your support, your word of contribution is very needed on this program right now. So please join us. Let's do it together. Let's put our voice together. Let's sell it once and let the world know that we also we stand against woman trafficking in Africa and in the world. So please, if you are there on this group, join us right now. It's happening right now on the African Portal Radio. For those of you that already joined us, thank you very much. Abayomi, Ajibola, great one. Thank you very much. We saw your comment there. Keep it up, keep it up, keep it up. Send your question, your whole advice, and what do you think we need to do in times such as this? What do you think is the solution to the human trafficking problem in Africa and in the rest part of the world? Let's do it together, please. Connect with us. Let's do it together. It's going to be a lovely time on the African Portal Radio TV International. Those of you coming, thank you very much. Share it, share it. We expect a lot of people to join this broadcast this hour. So please share it, share it. Let it go. It's a lovely and beautiful time on the African Portal Radio. It's 14 minutes after 4 o'clock here in Victoria, South Africa. It's going to be a time of enjoyment, a time that will be having conversation, open our eyes to many things, and telling a lot of stories of what is happening in Africa. I got the news a few days back of, I think I saw it on social media, of some men that actually using the woman body, selling head of a woman being for just 20,000 naira. You see, a very serious problem in our community, in our society, and it's time to talk about it. So please, if you are joining us carefully, we're taking you somewhere today on this broadcast this hour. Thank you, everyone joining. Thank you very, very much. We expect a lot of people to join this broadcast this hour. So please connect. Let's do it together. Let's roll this show together. Ma, if you are there, I'm waiting for you. We have to start this show now. So please, I'm waiting for you. Let's get started now. Let's roll it out and let's talk about it. Let's get African knows that we are already here. Thank you, everyone, joining us. Thank you very, very much. Let me give you a background of the person that I'm going to host on this program this hour. She is a member of African Union, a labor migration advisory committee representing the Diaspora African Union chairperson. As well, she's a CEO of the NEKOTTECH Center for Labor Migration Diplomacy in Ghana and the globally. So she is the person we will be having on the on the show this hour. So let me take this time to give you some of our pictures so that you can see some of the slide picture of who she is and what she have contributed in the time past. She's owner of the NEKOTTECH Center of Excellency, Ghana, and she's also one of the great African women to receive an award, so that you know that she's award winning. She's one of the great African women doing very well in the on the African soil, and it's going to be a lovely time. I'm just giving you a background for you to see the person coming to the show right now. I'm just showing you some of our slide picture picture so that for you to see the kind of person we are putting on the spotlight. Here in South Africa, on the African portal, we don't just put people on the spotlight. We do a lot of research, we do a lot of research about them. We make sure we get all their information. Princess OCANSEY will be with me on this broadcast this hour on the African portal, radio, TV. We're just waiting for her. She's already with us before she step out. We're just waiting for her to connect back to this broadcast so that we can start the conversation on the African Portal Radio TV. Please, we are waiting for you, ma. Please join us now. Join us. We need to move now. We need to move now. Really, we need to move now. This is a picture, so please just follow us, share, let it go viral. This is the woman that she's going to be with me on this program this hour. So for those of you joining us, thank you very much for joining the broadcast. Share it, let it go viral. Before we go further, let me have some of the stories of the people that have been victim of the woman trafficking. Let's talk about them and let's see what they are saying. Let's get some music.
Spirit Fuga, Fuga, and go back to your roots, the roots that unite us so that we can stand together and fight for the restoration of our land, because together we can. Yes, we can.
Amantla. Thank you very much for joining this broadcast. Everyone joining us, ma. We need your 100% concentration on this show. Please kindly table so that we can have a breaking in communication. Thank you, everyone joining us. Let me use this to greet everybody all over Africa. Dumela, Ashe, Moloi, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. All over Africa, we greet and we salute. Bonjour to everyone in African soil. We greet and we salute everyone. Barisa in Central Africa, we greet and we salute. We salute the spirit of Ubuntu. We salute the spirit of togetherness that unites us together as a great African citizen. And we salute the spirit of the oneness that make us having the diversity within ourselves that make us unique. We salute every those that have passed. We salute those that have fight for the freedom of Africa. Amatla. Welcome to the African Portal Radio TV International. Everyone joining us, thank you very much. Let me use this time to welcome our doctor onto this program. I want us to introduce ourselves. Ma, I want you to introduce yourself, who you are, where you are, and the position you hold in the society.
Okay, Dara. First of all, thank you very much for Web Blue Day to having us on the Africa Portal. You guys are doing a great job. We thank you. This is what we need. Our youth and all of us, all hands on deck, is what it's going to take. So I want to congratulate you on the work that you're doing, Dara. It's very, very good. We thank you and for having us today on this platform. And a member of the African Union Labor Migration Advisory Committee. We advise African governments, and I'm representing the Diaspora African Forum. We stand for the diaspora to make sure that the voice of that diaspora, which is the 6th region, is heard in the annals of in the corridors of power of the African Union. I'm also the chairperson for the United Nations Youth Association of Ghana, which is UNYA Ghana, which is about 10,000 youth. And my heart beats for the youth of Africa. And so I agreed to chair the UNYA. And we right now are also working with GIFORM, the Journalists International Forum in Nigeria. We are in partnership with them to have a summit, a great summit in February of 2021. And what NEKOTTECH, CEO of NEKOTTECH Center, the NEKOTTECH Center program started in 1998. In the year 2000, we opened our center and was opened by His Excellency, the late Kofi Annan, and his wife were there for the opening of the center. And the center has been involved in various initiatives, including healthcare, migration. We have the NEKOTTECH Center for Labor Migration Diplomacy, which has been working on giving awareness on legal migration. And I have recently finished my book, which is called Deadly Work or Decent Work, which focuses on the Africa Middle East labor migration framework, which needs to be set up so that the children of Africa will stop dying. Yes. So the GIFORM-NEKOTECH Summit is a must for every African leader, every African journalist, every person who is concerned about our continent and the migration issues. Every migration stakeholder must make it a point to plug into this summit. It's going to be a summit of a kind.
Indeed. Thank you very much. I want you to do me a favor as we are about to go deeper into this conversation. I'm hearing some voice from your side, some outside voices coming to this broadcast. That will not be allowed. If I can get those, I mean, the people around you to please give us a kind of silence from their side, or if we can move away from that noise, I will really appreciate it, so that both of us will have
Okay,
a
you are
smooth.
hearing the noise. Okay.
Okay, yeah, there's some
Okay.
noise coming
Let's
from
let
behind, and it's
okay,
coming
so
into
you
the.
go ahead and I'll let them go ahead and I'll let the office fix
Thank
that
you
for you.
very much, everyone. Thank you very much for those of you that is joining us. Salam, we are seeing your hands. I see your question, and by the grace of God, we are going to throw those questions to her. She's going to respond to all those questions one after the so please share for this program. Please share it. Let it go viral. We will also like to hear from you. Call us on +2778 70333584 is the number to call. I will really appreciate if you can call on today's program as well, so that we can have the conversation and also encourage our women, our mother that we have. Thank you very much, Salam. Your hands there, and I'm seeing your support, and I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for that. She's going to respond to all those questions one after the other. She's going to respond to it. We're just trying to make sure that she got a very clear network and people around her are not disturbing this broadcast. So those are the things that we just want to put in space in the next few minutes before we go deeper into the business of the day. Those of you joining us, thank you very much for joining this broadcast. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Keep it up, keep it up, keep it up, keep it up. Continue sharing it, continue talking about it, continue let people know that the African Portal Radio is live right now, right here on the African Portal Radio, with connection with Jerome J from NEKOTTECH Ghana Summit 2021. So we are having this together. So please, I expect everybody, please join this broadcast. Is happening right now. Join us now. Is happening right now, right here on the African Portal. We will appreciate your comments as well. We appreciate your comments as well. Please send your comments to us. We will appreciate your comment as well. Let's keep it up and let's make it happen. Before we continue, I'm going to open the line for one of the great African youth as well to also say their home part as well. Keep it up, keep it up. Let's do it together. Let's quickly open the line for one of the African women to or the African youth to also their own side of story about the migration in Africa, and let's quickly have a conversation around that before we continue. Our mother is joining us right now, but let's quickly hear what one of the African women was about woman trafficking in Africa. Let's quickly hear from her continue on this show this hour. Thank you, those of you sharing. Thank you very much. Women trafficking in South Africa, and everybody is talking about it. As we used to say, that we need to talk about it. We need to talk about it. Is challenging one enough that is really affecting our community. So it's high time to talk about it. So join us right now, right here on the African Culture TV International. Right now on the African Culture. Thank you very much.
I'm only human. I'm only human. Just a little human.
Thank you, everyone that joining us. Thank you very, very much. Our mother is already back online with me. That we having this conversation together this hour. A lot is here on this program to cover. Ma, let me take this time to quickly take you back to the line of history. You've tell us the position you hold in the society. But I would like to take you back to the line of history so that the youth of today will see the sacrifice and what made you to be where you are now. Because a lot of youth of today don't realize that it's a hard work for somebody to make it to the top. A lot of people want to take the cross, I mean, they want to take the shortcut. That is why they believe in working smart, not working hard. So let's hear your story, where you're coming from till you get to where you are now.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. It's really a pleasure to be on this African portal today. I want to take the opportunity to thank GIFORM, our partner, President Ajibola of Nigeria, for opening the door for us to be on this very important portal today to discuss this issue, which is humanly and nationally, internationally important, human trafficking. I actually went to school in the US, trained as an engineer from Rutgers University College of Engineering. And when I finished, as I go on business trips, I see these Filipinos. So I saw this Filipino woman. I'm like, you guys I see you guys working overseas and so on. And so that's when my first introduction to the whole migration was through a Filipino hotel maid. So I started to look into it. I went to U.S. Department of Labor. I went to the White House, African Affairs, and I said, how come you don't have Africans working in these places? They said, because we never asked for it. I said, how come we didn't ask for it? Nobody has come. The Filipinos, they come and they have a bilateral agreement with the various countries, and they come and they work legally and they go back. I was like, wow, so that's doable. So I made a trip to the Philippines. I spent time in the Philippines. And then I saw the migration system that they had. And I was like, indeed, if the children of Africa can also migrate legally, then everybody would win. And it will help to break generational cycles of poverty. So that's how I got involved in migration. I went to Canada. I went to go and study their migration system there. At the time, they had something called the Temporary Foreign Worker Program. We started to train a lot of Ghanaian youth. We started to work with McDonald's then to train Ghanaian youth to send them overseas to go and work. But as an engineer going forward, I fell in love with the Word of God. And I went to do my PhD in theology. And now I say that I re-engineer, by the grace of God, the destinies of our youth. And it's about making sure that the youth, instead of going the wrong way, that we teach them to have the mind of Christ that will help them to succeed and do very well doing the right thing. So over the years, from then, I came back to Ghana from having lived in the US, and I was working with a lot of stars from Hollywood, including the current Mr. Denzel Washington and the late Isaac Hayes. We built a school in Ada. And when we built the school, the late Mr. Kofi Annan, I was a member of his advisory board at the time. We had a task force for ICT. It was looking for engineers working on the continent to advise. So we're looking at renewable energy and ICT. So I was one of the task force. So they came for the opening of our center, and we immediately started to train youth in various ways. And my whole mandate is to make sure that the children of Africa are given dignity and respect wherever they go in the diaspora. In the diaspora, we need to make sure that the youth are also well endowed and they have the skills that they need to succeed. And when they don't have the information and they don't have the skill, the word says, for lack of knowledge, my people perish. Then our people will continue to perish in the Mediterranean, in the Sahara, and so on. So what we do here is to make sure that they are well informed, they are well skilled up, and that they get the best companies overseas where they can work so that they can have impact on the continent. We also have been involved in what we call secular migration. I don't believe that at this stage, Africans should go abroad for 30 years and go and live there and come back only when they are dead. I believe that Africans should go for a few years, 1 year, 2 years, 3-year programs where they can earn some capital to come and put into this precious continent of ours, because only Africans can develop Africa for Africa properly. And so what we want to do with GIFORM, with President Ajibola, is to set up this summit. In fact, the summit was going to be on the 21st of January, but in honor of the upcoming funeral of the great man, His Excellency Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings, we moved that his funeral will be around the same time. So to honor him, we moved the date of our funeral, of our summit, to February. So it's February 25th and 26th in Ghana. Now, this summit is of extreme importance for the African continent and all of its leaders to attend. The reason being, right now, during the COVID season, we saw thousands of African women stranded in the Middle East. Many of them were sleeping in the streets, especially in Lebanon. Many of them were dying in their numbers. There was no social distancing. But then African governments had to spend millions of dollars to bring these women back home. Now, if they had migrated legally, that would never have been the case. What we are advocating our summit is that right now, Europe and Africa, they have multilateral platform. Africa and Asia and Middle East and Asia have multilateral platform for migration, but there is no multilateral platform between Africa and the Middle East. Right now, Asia knows that there are many employment systems in the Middle East: the good, the bad, and the deadly. They have taken the good and the bad, and the deadly has been left to Africans. Deadly in terms of work employment systems like kafala. Kafala is the employment system that has plagued the Middle East, and African women are dying in their numbers from participating in this slavery. It's near slavery conditions. In fact, the world calls it the slave-like conditions of the Middle East. Now, some Middle East countries have very good employment systems, others do not. But if we don't have that information, how would we know where to go? And that's why I wrote my book, Deadly Work or Decent Work. This book is available on Amazon right now. It's called Deadly Work or Decent Work. And it addresses the employment systems in the Middle East and which systems African leaders should completely run, and which are the systems that will help Africa overcome its immense youth unemployment issues. And so that's where I am. From there, I came back home. I'm now chair of the African Union. I'm now chair of the United Nations Youth Association of Ghana. I am a member of the African Union Labor Migration Advisory Committee. We advise African governments on migration, represent the platform. And I'm also CEO of the NEKOTTECH Center on Labor Migration Diplomacy. We again advise African governments on for safe and legal orderly migration according to the UN Compact. So that's where it has not been an easy road. A day that we're celebrating human trafficking, though some people who did not understand what we're doing, they call it human trafficking. We had to go to court to fight and then be acquitted and discharged. And so it's this warfare of fighting human trafficking and fighting for the youth of Africa has cost us our blood, our tears, our many years. It has not been easy, but because we believe so much in the cause, we are 100% committed to ensure that the youth of Africa are given accorded the dignity of a decent work. We think it's a human right for the African youth not to be treated like slaves in the Middle East anymore. Never again.
Great. I'm so delighted. I'm so happy to have you on board on the African Portal Radio TV International, the radio for all, where we are having conversation around the important thing that can bring a lot of progress to the African continent and as well to other parts of the world as well. Sorry, those of you joining us. It's going to be a lovely and a very smooth and exciting time on this broadcast this hour as we are engaging one of the and one of the experienced women of Africa on this show this hour. Everyone joining us, please share this program, share, comment, like. Be the only we can do for this show for it to go viral. So please love, share, and like. We would like to get your comment as well. Comment as well. Your comment is also welcome on this program. Please, let's do it together. Together we can make African great again. Those time is gone. This is the time that we need to rewrite African story. In those days, someone tell African story. It's time for Africa to write their story by themselves. We don't want anyone to write our story for us anymore. We want to tell our story by ourselves. We want to write our story by ourselves. And we want to put African back to the place where Africa belong. And those of you joining us, if you believe in this vision, share this program, support African Portal. Let's talk, let's see how we can promote and take Africa next level. Win challenges with network. Your line keep on going and out. Is it possible for us to keep that line in one place so that we can always see you when we want to throw a question to you? Thank you very much. I understand it's not easy, especially when it comes to network. It's not easy. I do understand that. But thank you very much, ma. I like the way and manner you introduce yourself and you give us a bit of the journey so far. It's not working smart, it's working hard. You work so hard to get to where you are now. A lot of questions are coming in that we are going to attend to on this program. But before that, a lot of people have lost their life in Africa. If you look at the news and you check what is going on in Africa, in Mediterranean, many African citizens die daily on the Mediterranean. And if you look at the resources we have in Africa, the resources is enough for us to take care of ourselves without thinking of moving anywhere. I don't even buy the idea of sending Africa out of Africa to go and learn or work and bring the money back. No, we have enough resources in Africa that can be enough for us to take care of ourselves, that others need to come and work for us. Look at Dubai. If a country like Dubai become what they become today, I don't see anything stop Africa not to be able to use their resources to make this continent be one of the greatest continents in the world. But that is just by the way. Let's go to the business of the day, which is what we are celebrating today: woman trafficking. What is the woman trafficking, and why talking about it times such as this? Can you hear me, ma'am?
Yes. Hello. Are you hearing me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I throw a question to you. I'm just waiting for your response.
I see.
Let's go to the business of the day. Okay, ma'am. All right.
Okay, so I will say that actually I tell people that human trafficking started with the slave trade. It started way in the 16th century. I wouldn't say that it's just now, because what happened in the triangular slave trade was human trafficking. Humans were trafficked against their will. They were sent across the oceans, and this has been going on for hundreds of years. And human trafficking in technical terms is when there's exploitation involved, labor in the area of forced labor, in the area of sex exploitation, as well as debt bondage. Now, recently, they've added organ trafficking. So organ trafficking has become part of the whole system that we have to be very, very careful about. So what is involved is there's a lot of deception and a lot of luring. People are lured into circumstances they don't know about. And then before they know it, they are in situations that they never planned to be in. So those are the really four elements now, which is sex exploitation, outside of their country of origin, and forced labor, as well as debt bondage and organ trafficking. So it is the second worst crime. It's a major crime, and millions of people are involved in this. Is a big industry, and it's something that must be stopped in its tracks. Enough is enough. We do not need to be in slavery at this time, and we must do everything possible to stop the forced labor, to stop the debt bondage, and to stop the sex exploitation, mostly of women and girls. Women and girls have been vulnerable, and they are falling prey to human trafficking. The U.S. Department of Homeland Security has been celebrating. Now, I don't even like to use the word celebrating, but commemorating this day, January 11th. They have designated as the day of Wear Blue Day, and the idea is to give awareness to this heinous crime, which is actually now is plaguing the African continent in large proportions.
Thank you very much, Ma. I like that. Let me take you back to what you just mentioned now, because if this began in the 16th century and we are in the 21st century, we are still struggling with this. As a matter of fact, when they say there is been abolished in the Western world, that there would not be anything as a slave trade and all this kind of a thing, and everybody is happy that yes, is been abolished. But we are living in an age whereby a lot of people are taken out of their fatherland systematically and selling them into slave trade, but in a very advanced way. So it's like advanced slavery is advanced slavery. Ma, what can we do to actually address it in the normal sense of it?
Well, awareness like what you are doing right now, Dara, is very good. Awareness is one way to kick it, get it started. The governments have roles to play again. One for my concern of obviously is global, but my bigger concern at this time is the African continent and the lack of structures and systems in place to make sure that we stop this. And that's why we're having this summit, because of the awareness. The summit between the partnership of DIASPORA and NEKOTTECH, which is coming up on the 25th and 26th of February, is just to address this issue. How does Africa come together to set up this missing link, the missing link on the continent between Africa, especially right now, between Africa and Middle East, is where most of our problems of human trafficking is occurring. And so to nip this thing in the bud and to deal with it, the African leaders need to have a multilateral platform and to start dialoguing with the Middle East to bring this to a halt. So that is the awareness, number one. Number two is having the platform, a multilateral platform must be set up so that the nations will start speaking with each other, just as Asia has done in the past. Asia has a program called the Colombo Process. The Middle East, they have one called the Abu Dhabi Dialogue. These platforms are multilateral platforms that allow the Middle East and Asia to set up migration frameworks that ensure that people are migrating legally and reduces significantly the incidence of human trafficking. But that is missing with the African continent. And so the easiest Africans are very easy to traffic. You just come in and walk in and take them out. And that's the one thing that we need to stop as quickly as possible.
Thank you very much, Ma. I'm going to take you to a aspect of this interview, because this is about 3 different aspects. But there's a call coming in from England. Let me quickly see who is on the call. Let's see what this person wants to say. This is a call from England. Let me check if this person is contributing to what we are discussing right now on the show. Thank you very much, Ma. We really appreciate your call in. Are you available for us? We are on the show. Welcome to the African Portal Radio TV, and God bless you for calling in. Who am I speaking to now? Okay, sorry, I think the line is not getting clarity. Okay, let's just continue, Mark. Thank you very much for you can call us again. We appreciate your call and your contribution on this program. Thank you, everyone joining us. Otuba Baba today, Tiami, you. Thank you very much. We see your comments there. Keep it up, keep it up. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you very much, Mark. Let's look at this. What is happening now? This is a kind of a way because a lot of people in Africa. Most of the experts in Africa, after the university education, people focus more on traveling out of Africa, getting the visa, go to other part of the world, go and work, and they were doing very well in other part of the world than what they are doing in their continent before they leave their continent. In America today, the statistics let us know that the most intelligent people in America today are from Africa. Almost, I mean, if you go to read one by one, you will see a lot. Man, this system of people getting visa at the embassy, go to other part of the world. What is your own view about it? Is it a good system for Africa, or do we need to also address this and let people know that stay in Africa, build Africa for ourselves is the only solution? What is your own view about that?
I mean, it depends on what they're getting a visa for. My main concern is many Africans don't understand the different kinds of visas. The guy wants to go and work overseas. He goes for a visitor's visa, 5-year multiple. Then he becomes illegal. Once he's illegal and undocumented, once he's undocumented, he's not doing anything for anybody because he's now working underground and working for less than. You find a lot of PhDs in New York and other places. They are driving taxis. There's nothing wrong with driving a taxi, but your value has gone much higher as you are now become a PhD. But because they don't have the requisite documents and the legality to be able to operate in their capacity, they end up shortchanging themselves, and therefore it's a loss to the continent and a loss to the receiving country. So it's a matter of making sure that if the person is even going to migrate, they'll do it right. And when they'll do it right, so if the guy is supposed to be earning $100,000, now he's doing cleaning and he's earning $20,000. So instead of sending home $50,000, he's sending home $2,000. You understand? So what I'm saying is that even if they are going to do it, not everybody can stay here. Migration is not a crime. The person wants to migrate. There's nothing wrong with it. But we want every African to understand that Africa must be developed by Africans. So if you migrate, still send money home. Go and do major contacts. Go and get big contacts. Bring them to Africa to develop Africa. Save some capital. Come and inject it in Africa. Don't go like you are just going and never coming back. You are going to go and do something and bring it back home, so that we can develop the continent. So it's a mindset. We need to have a development mindset and know that when we go out there, we're not going out there to go and enslave ourselves. We are going there as equal citizens of the receiving countries we are going into, demanding human rights and asking to be treated with dignity. And then when we want to come home, we can come home as we please. But we go illegally. When we get there, now many people can't come back because when they come, they can't go again because they don't have the right documents. They are illegal, or they are undocumented, or all kinds of issues. I want African migration to be done well. I want African migration to be done legally. I want to see Africans travel. If you are going to go to work, get a work permit. If you are going for a visit, get a visiting permit. If you are going for whatever it is you are going for, if you are going to study, get a study permit. But everybody goes for a visitor's permit, and then they are stranded because they don't understand. I want the awareness to be done, and Derek, you are doing a great job with this awareness. Ajibola of Nigeria with GIFORM, they are doing tremendous work. If all hands, especially in the media, will get on board like the way you guys are doing, we will be able to solve this problem.
Thank you very much, man. Let me quickly take you to one of the things you mentioned now. A lot of people get the visa, they got the right visa, they go to the country where they are going to, then they seek for asylum. Some of them raise their hands and they become a kind of asylum in another man's land. They disown their own fatherland, giving a lot of statement that okay, they were chased out of their fatherland with war and stuff like that. Is it a good things to do. That is one. Secondly, let's look at some people that is canvassing people that they are going to take them out of their fatherland to another land where they will earn a lot of money. Some people that took them through the local route, like going from Mali to what, then getting to a country like Libya where people, they slaughter people. There's a lot of things that to talk about all this. What is your own view about this, and what can we do in a way for us to make sure that we stop this? I understand that you said the media is another way, but what about the parents? Because some of the parents actually, they don't even do the findings. Immediately they hear that their children want to travel out, they just want them to travel out by all means. They don't care how, as long as the child is traveling out, that is all they want. What can we do to also encourage the parents as well, to let them understand that not every place is good for them to travel to? What is your view on that?
Oh, I mean, there can be community awareness, but community awareness needs to be sponsored. And that's where government comes in. So government can have programs where you have civic education. It should be part of civic education, so that the community educational programs can be done, so that the families will be more aware and into it. And also governments need to let their citizens know the legal channels of migration. For instance, in Ghana, there are 60 licensed agencies. If you want to travel and travel properly, you go through the licensed agencies, but there are 323 illegals. So most of the people fall prey because they don't know who the licensed agencies are. It has not been published by government. Then they fall prey to these 323. Many of the women who went and were in Lebanon and stranded, they went through illegal means. So government has a role to play. The community leaders has a role to play, so that the families will be fully aware. Once the awareness is clear, that's why again I go back to the summit, because the summit will provide such a platform to make sure that the word is put out and people get a deeper understanding of how we can stop this menace as quickly as possible.
Thank you, Ma. Thank you, Ma. Let me just take it a bit more faster because of our time is fast spending. And let's quickly look at some question coming in. I have Salam sending a question through. As you are the chairman of the NEKOTTECH, and he's throwing the question to you that what is the greatest accomplishment of NEKOTTECH in 2020? Despite to the global pandemic situation, what can you say to that?
Our NEKOTTECH was right at the center with the UNYA to celebrate the 75 years of the United Nations, and we petitioned the government of Ghana for the ratification of ILO Convention C-189 and C-190. And we also asked the Ghana government, we put the mandate to him to be champion for decent work. And because of that, the government of Ghana, the president of Ghana, has agreed to ratify this convention C-189, which is an UN International Labour Organization convention for decent work for domestic workers. And then C-190 is for ensuring that there's no violence in the workplace. For us, these two that we were able to accomplish, we see that as one of the greatest things, because it will save millions of lives. We have been working on it for a long time. We have a music video on it since 2011. We have pushed and pushed and pushed. I have been to Kuwait. We have spoken to so many people about it. And finally, we were able to get it in front of the president. And he said he will actually ratify. So now, saying you ratify is one thing. Now we have to follow up to make sure that the ratification takes place in 2021. And once we have that, then we push for the multilateral platform, and then we believe that would have made major strides. Having the DIASPORA-NEKOTECH summit and coming together with our partnership with DIASPORA is a big milestone for us in bringing that the media into the game. And I believe that the media will be a major game changer with the DIASPORA-NEKOTECH Ghana summit coming up in February.
Okay, thank you very much. Sorry, can we get the network? I think I'm hearing myself back here. Okay.
And of course, the launching of the book, Decent Work, Deadly Work, That's again work that we've been doing for since 2011. It's been like a 9-year project, and because of the pandemic, we were able to actually sit down and finish the book. So that was one of the major accomplishments for us.
Great,
Yes,
great,
we were
great,
also
great.
involved in the rescue program, talking to the women who have been rescued. The Ghana government did a good job in rescuing the women and bringing them back, and then we are working with some of them to help them to get back into to be employed in decent way, and helping them to get new jobs, which will help them right here, even in Ghana. We have some entrepreneurial programs that we've set up for them, and we are looking for those who want to redeploy into decent way, so that they don't have to go and suffer anymore.
Thank
So
you
we
very
had
much,
a pretty good 2020, to be honest. We made a lot of strides in 2020.
Thank you. Let's quickly check. Some calls are coming in. Let's see who is calling here. Okay, we lost the call there. Thank you, man. Let's quickly look at the issue of the NEKOTTECH Ghana Summit. Okay, there's a question on that. So what should be our expectation going into that summit? What is the expectation and what that summit is going to base on?
Well, the summit is bringing migration stakeholders from all over the world, and with a focus on the media, so that we make sure that the word goes out. We are going to have some African leaders and former African leaders present, and we are going to be thrashing out what we need to be doing for African youth who want to migrate. The migration must be made safe for them. The migration must be made structured in such a way that it benefits the continent. And with the African Continental Free Trade, we are saying migration, trade, and investment. We are seeing migration as a stepping stone to get into trade and investment on the continent. We are not seeing migration as an end to itself, but it's to open the doors, the minds, the souls, the spirits of our youth to see new civilizations, to get in contact with major players, to be able to have new skills that they bring back, to save money and capital that they can bring back to the continent, to help and go into trade and investment, so that we can develop this continent and to make the African Continental Free Trade area as successful as we possibly can. That is where we need to go.
Okay, thank you very much. We're going to get to that now. We're going to get to that. You just mentioned something now. I already penciled that down. We are going to talk about the free trade agreement within African continent. We're going to talk about it, and we're going to talk about your book in the next few minutes. But let me quickly respond to this question. In honor of one of the African leader, J.J. Rollins, the events of this, the upcoming summit supposed to happen last week of this month, but we postponed it in honor of this great leader. The question is that was postponed? Will you say it is a great decision by the LOC, and what date is envisaged now for the summit? So the question is that, can you say that it's a good idea for us to postpone this summit to next month to honor the great African leader J.J. Rollins? What is your view to that? And when is the event coming up again?
The event has been postponed to originally the funeral for the late president, His Excellency Flight Lieutenant J.J. Rollins, was supposed to be December 23rd, but it was moved forward to January, which ended up coinciding with our summit. This is a man we highly respect, and he is the father of the Fourth Republic of Ghana. And since we want to have the summit in Ghana, we decided that we will use that time instead of doing a summit during the time that he's being buried. We felt that would be disrespectful to his memory. And so we are moving it a month from the time to February 25th and 26th to be able to now focus on helping, because, for instance, as chair of the UNYA, the President Rawlings had a very, very good relationship with the UNYA, and we believe that we must serve during that time as our final payment of respect to him. He's a global figure. He has done much not only for Ghana, but for the whole continent of Africa. He's highly respected, and we believe that he deserves our undivided attention during that time.
Thank you very much. Another question just coming in now from Otuba Babatunde Tiami. You say, what is the situation of COVID-19 in Ghana ahead of the NEKOTTECH summit? What can you say that is safe for us to gather now in Ghana regarding the COVID-19 that is registering its ugly head globally?
Yes, Ghana has been managing the COVID-19 pandemic very well. The government have done a very good job. Definitely, we're not saying it's over. The summit is hybrid. We'll be observing all the protocols of the COVID-19 with the social distancing and masks and everything else. And we'll make sure that everything is done accordingly. Those who would like to come in by virtual, the virtual aspect will also be available.
Okay. Thank you, man. Let me quickly take you back to the issue you mentioned during your explanation, the African trade. As a matter of fact, it's going to be one of the biggest trades so far in the world. And a lot of people, a lot of Africans seems to see it as another great opportunity to unite Africa and to take Africa to the next level. What is your own view about the trade, the free trade agreement, and what are you doing to make sure that the people, most especially in the Western African and other parts of African continent, actually see more of this free trade agreement? Because a lot of people doesn't know about it. Most of the people on the street, they don't even know that anything is calling free trade. A lot of people think maybe it's just a paper, just to sign paper within the countries. This thing is not for us. Forget about it. It's for those people on the top. It's not for us. What can you say about
it? Again, definitely it just opened this January, as you know. And once the Secretariat is here, I believe that is the awareness that will have to come into place, and our governments are very committed in making sure that whatever programs are put in place and incentives that are put in place to make it successful. And it's going to take, all hands must be on deck. But again, we need to educate our people internally and to support them to be a part of it. And I believe that once the governments provide resources to help Africans to position themselves and to prepare themselves to succeed, we will succeed with these trade and investment programs. There's already, migration is showing us that most of the migration is intra-Africa. 80% of the migration that we are seeing is really within Africa already. So that network is already there. We are already trading with each other. And that's why we went to this next level to do the African Continental Free Trade. It's not something that we have to let people start doing. People are already doing it. People are already migrating to other African countries, trading with each other already. So all the governments are doing now is facilitating it and moving it to the next level and making it even better. So it's 80% intra-African migration. So we're just putting more resources into a good thing already, and recognizing that, hey, if this is what we are doing already, why don't we make it even bigger and better and become one market instead of 55 different markets? Now we are leveraging this market and becoming a 1.2 billion, and I even say 1.3 plus, because we need to add the 6th region. If we add the 6th region, the diasporan Africans in Brazil, which are over 100 million of them, in the US, which are about 40 million of them, then we are about 1.35 billion, and that is a force to reckon with.
Thank you very much, man. But man, let's look at this issue that is.
It's worth every investment to get this up and going.
Thank you very much, Ma. Let's look at the issue and the problem happening. I mean, we are facing currently within Africa. If you look at what is happening in Libya, is uncalled for, is xenophobic by fellow African, killing fellow Africa. If you look at what is happening in South Africa, some of South Africa are calling for other African countries to go back to their country. As a matter of fact, some South Africans see other African citizens as a foreigner, and they see themselves as they don't see themselves as Africa. And those kind of confusion is coming in. What are you doing to educate people? Around this and to find a permanent solution to this kind of ugly and barbaric attitude in Africa?
Well, the Africans are having, it's been many, many years that Africans have been, I don't want to use the word trained, but it's been many years of Africans seeing each other as various individual countries since 1844, when we were divided by the scramble for Africa. And those barriers are still there. But we need to understand that we're one people. The African Union, for instance, is doing the African passport. Once we all start to use the same passports, and for ECOWAS, once we start using the same currency, and we start to bring down those barriers that have held us hostage for hundreds of years, for centuries. I believe that once we start tearing down those barriers and borders, things will start to change. We'll start to see each other as Dara is my son, just as much as a young Ghanaian young man will also be my son. So once we start to see value in each other, and we start the success that way, they will not even have the term xenophobia, because we are one people.
Thank you very much.
We have one people, and one of the saddest thing that ever happened in my time at the African Union, and we are working on this now, is we were traveling to South Africa at the time. Our team was going to South Africa. Some of them are dual citizens, and they have passports from Ireland, passports from the US, passports from the UK. And those people with the passports from the US and Ireland, and they went swiftly through the line. If you are from other African countries, you go to another line and they grill the heck out of you. If you're a Nigerian, they forget it. They'll say, Nigerians, all sons sit over here. So the Nigerians, why should it be so? Why should we allow people who are not from our continent to enjoy the benefits of our continent more than the children of the land? That is an abomination. So we immediately went to work on that and said, no, this must stop. This must stop. We cannot have Europeans and people who are not, when you go to EU will never take an African over somebody from the EU. They will never say, oh, you are from Nigeria. Oh, we prefer you to the person from France. No, never. So we need to change the game. We need to change the game and make Africans on the continent number one. Africans must be number one on this continent. We are not number one in any other place. If we are not number one in any other place, at least on this continent, we must be number one. We must have priority. If we cannot have priority on our continent, we are dead. We really are. Because on all the other continents, we know the suffering that we suffer. But for us to give priority for other nationalities on this soil, it's absolutely wrong. No, it must never be again. And I wept. I wept because if I see Africa like a mother, and if my own child shall be mistreated like a stepchild on his own soil, we have reason to weep. We have reason to weep.
Okay, ma. Thank you very much for that. Let me quickly take you to one of the problems facing most of the African country. In Africa, we have so much university, a lot of graduates coming out of the universities in Africa. And when it comes to the time when the African or any part of Africa want to do any great or big project or infrastructures or development, we seem to take the business to China or to other parts of the world. We seem to go and get expatriates from other parts of the world. Are we saying that the education we are having in Africa, most of the African scholars, African professionals, they were not qualified to handle projects in Africa. Is that what we are saying? Because all the railways, all the job done, all the infrastructure in Africa is handled by the foreign organization. What is your view to that, and what's causing that?
Funding and finance. Most of these contracts, when we go and look for money outside, but they are sleeping on the gold and the diamonds.
Can you get the microphone closer to you? We can't hear you very well.
Okay, can you hear me better now?
Yes, it's better now.
Is it better?
Yes, it's better now.
Okay. It has to do with the funding. Some of these funding and financing, the monies we go outside to go and borrow, these countries are not giving us those monies apart from interest for free. They give us the monies to create jobs for their own citizens. And so some of the clauses in many of these agreements will say that if I'm taking money from the US, I have to use a US consultant. If I'm taking money from China, Chinese, they bring all their people to come and do all the construction. They don't really create much jobs for the African people. But we get the money and we get the road, and it will not be jobs to our people. And this has been going on for so long. This is what has put Africa into a chronic joblessness for the youth. So until we get to a place where we actually flat out refuse some of these clauses that come with the money and say, listen, we are going to pay your interest. We want to create jobs for our people. We need to be mindful and intentional about creating jobs for the youth of Africa. And we'll have to be wrapping up shortly, as I have as we discussed earlier. We have another interview coming from also the other stations, because today is World Blue Day, and we need to be speaking on behalf of
definitely. Before I let you go, let's quickly talk a bit about your book. I'm bringing you back anytime soon. We are going to talk more on your book. I'm bringing you back anytime soon, but look forward to it. And anything that God have deposited in your hands to take the African portal to the next level, please do it, because we are looking forward to make this African portal the BBC.
I'm very proud of the work you're doing now.
So let's quickly talk a bit about your book and where people can get it. Please just give us a kind of quickly brief and where people can get it. Then I'm out of your way.
The book is called Deadly Work or Decent Work. It's actually a bestseller now on Amazon. And so it can be bought. You can buy an ebook on Amazon, or you can buy a hard copy book from Amazon. Okay. So that's the book. It's $9.99 on Amazon. You can order it. And it has a lot of very good information. In fact, every person before they migrate, they should read this book, because it's an eye-opener. And once they read this book, nobody can traffic them again. In the book, you see this page here. This is what is happening with our women here. The women who are stranded in Lebanon. These are African daughters, precious daughters of the continent, lying there like they are nothing, looking for a way back. This is what this book is looking to stop. So what this book does is it brings awareness on what the issues are. Many of the girls, you see, they end up in jail. When something happens and they go and report, sometimes they don't want to pay their salaries. So they'll say the girl stole money or the girl did this, and then the young girl will end up in jail. We have the story of this young lady. She died. She was being raped so many times. When she complained, she was pushed off the balcony to her death. The domestic worker. These are the things that cannot just continue. Young lady, 22 years old. So we show the story. This is about stopping kafala. We show the stories of various problems. And then we also give information that is not all gloom. There are good stories. There are good places where there are good employment systems where our people can earn. But these employment systems are going only to Asia, and Africa does not even know about it to benefit from it. And so this book sheds light on the kinds of employment systems that Africans should be engaged in so that they can earn money like the Asians are doing, so that we don't take the bad and the ugly, but we take the good and the decent work. So here we explain the difference between deadly work and decent work. So people can get to understand if you are in deadly work, when you go, they take your passport, you are sexually harassed, they don't pay your salaries, there's no day off, you can work 7 days a week, no day off, long hours, they falsely accuse you and put you in prison, and you are in slave-like conditions. This is not anything that you should leave your country to go and do. But if you are in decent work, they don't take your passport. There's no sexual harassment. You get 1 day off. You don't work crazy hours. All of that is available, but it's not available to Africans because we are not asking for it, nor do we even understand that it exists for us to go for it. So we end up, people come to this continent because they know we are blind to the issue. They don't go and do it in Asia. Asia used to be blind. They went through it. Now they form a multilateral platform and they don't accept these jobs. We don't have a multilateral platform, so it's free for all. We take everything and anything that comes. And so we must fight for this platform so that our children don't deserve to be treated like this, that it will come to an end. So the summit will cover this in depth, February 25th, 26th, working with President Ajibola and the GIFORM and NEKOTTECH coming together with the University of Ghana and the UNYA and other stakeholders, IOM and the AUL are all coming together to have this explosive summit, which we believe will change the game for the African continent and the Middle East.
Ma, it is my great pleasure to have you on this broadcast this hour. Thank you very much for coming out to be part of this show. There is a saying that I used to say that if we are doing things the same way we've been doing it in the past, we'll be having the same results we are having in the past. But if we change the way we are doing things and we do it other way around, we get other results that is better than what we've been getting. And that is what the African Portal stood for. Thank you very much, Ma, for coming out. Let me allow you to go and attend to some of it. Thank you very much, and God bless you. Thank you so much.
God bless
you. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye for now.
Look forward to coming back to visit you soon.
Definitely, we will. I will host you live again in South Africa as well when you have a year. And as well, I would love to have you again so that we talk more about your book, because everyone that wants to travel out of Africa needs to get a copy of your book. So
you need to come to Ghana for the summit.
Definitely. We are working towards that. Right. Thank you very much, and God bless you. Have a beautiful day and have a beautiful week ahead of you. God bless you. See you some other time. Bye for now. Bye. Thank you, everyone, joining us. This is the African Portal Radio TV International. We coming to you live from Pretoria here in South Africa. It's a great pleasure to have one of the great Africa citizen on this show this hour. This will be the end to this broadcast. Thanks to President Ajibola for putting this together. Is the president and the leader of the organization that is working, and you are seeing their this program as we started the program. Thanks to him and thanks to all the members of this organization for what they are doing. JIFORM, thank you very much for being part of this show and for organizing this interview with one of the great African women, HE Reverend Dr. A.K. OCANSEY. It's a great pleasure to have you on board. Our mother, she's the member of African Union Labor Migration Advisory Committee, and she's one of the great African women. Also, she's the chairperson and the owner of the NEKOTTECH Ghana. She has done well for herself, and that's to put her on the spotlight on this program this hour. This will be the end to this broadcast this hour. Those of you joining us, thank you very, very much. Otuba Babatunde Tiamiyu, thank you very, very much for being part of this show. Thank you for sharing it. Thank you for sharing lives to this show as well. We really appreciate it. Thank you, everyone. Thank you very, very much. This is the African Portal. I remain yours, Oludare Oluso. And join me by the grace of God tomorrow again, as we'll be having another nice time on the African Portal Radio TV International. Let's call it to an end here. And by the grace of God, we will be back by tomorrow to continue with another aspect of our show that will be giving you a lot of excitement. Thank you, everyone, joining us. Please do us a favor, share this program, share it, share it, share it, share it, let it go viral. This is for Africa. Africa, let's unite ourselves. One Africa, one progress. Thank you very much. Let's go back to where we coming from. Let's quickly play one of the beautiful track for one of the great African citizens that we come in with before we call it a day on this program. Thank you very much. Enjoy this clip. Thank you, and kudos to the lady Ntobi Yamatozunga. Thank you very much, Ntombi, for this great clip.
I am an African, a true daughter of my identity. The spirit of Ubuntu is rooted in my bones. It flows every day like a river to the sea. I am an African from the southern part of South Africa to the Pacific, born and bred in the northern part of it, Limpopo, Kamatani. Africa. We never talk about the last of our we never talk about Strokoli. Africa yeru, Africa intact. Kitlisha ditebogo go lina bo Sesotho ba Sibili, lina bo Taung, Matshweneng, Mafulakulubeng, Moshweshwe, ke le rata kaofela. Ga re kopaneng re godise setšhaba. Kuninong ke ba kwaZulu, nina besilo, mabutho a tsweletseng ka Peguzulu. O Kaluza, o Buthelezi, o Dlangalala, o Dlangamandla. Ngiyaziqhenya ngani. Asihlanganeni sibe munye esizweni sakithi. Ngikhuluma ngamandla abavenda bahasho. Muvenda ve, muvenda mubikwa na ive laviva muvenda asare. Mbili, kafere moraro, li aruse ushaka. Oh, Africa, a continent well built, steady and attractive, surrounded by four proportions of layers, shielded with a heartwarming smile that welcomes diversity of humankind. Africa, my territory. Africa, my motherland. Africa. Oh, my beloved abode. But beyond those also wonderful attractions, a broken and aged nations, beyond the beauty and the also wonderful attractions, a poverty countries, corrupt authorities with leaders who leave us with empty promises and apologies. Our generation is wounded by unemployment. Our dreams are killed by the systems. Youngsters are growing of creativity and imagination. Those in the valleys are troubled by poor sanitation, crumbled plantation with limited medical access. Young girls are captured and transformed into sex slaves. Defenseless women are killed, slaughtered, raped. They are slaughtered like goats on a daily basis. Alive on the outside, but dead on the inside. With our souls sitting at heaven's gate, waiting for our perpetrators to claim rights to our bodies. We are tortured and unheard. Africa, we are dying. Oh dear Africa, what happened to your spirit? The spirit of Ubuntu, the spirit that unites us together and our heart beats as one. Oh Africa, Vuga, Vuga Africa, and go back to your roots. The roots that are going to unite us so that we can stand together and fight for the restoration of our land.